Hello, and welcome to week 5 of EPU 512. This week, what I would like you guys to do for your warm welcome is to add a visual or quote that fits you this week. Humor is encouraged, but it's not required. And please add into the thread. I have a little fun one here. I never make the same mistake twice. I make it 3 or 4 times just to be sure. So far, great work on week 3 assignments. I've graded all but 2 at this point. And looking forward to seeing the week 5 assignments when they start to come in. Great work in the discussion boards. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. As always, we're going to try to grow as a community of learners while implementing CASEL's 3 signature practices: a warm welcome, engaging activities, and an optimistic close. We're going to explain how our core principles intersect with existing codes of ethics. Ethics and trauma-informed practices of education. How does what you have learned so far connect to your district's mission and vision? We're going to try to intertwine all of these concepts. What are trauma-informed practices in education? One definition is that trauma-informed education as a school is a school-wide system that recognizes the prevalence of adverse and traumatic childhood experiences and equips teachers and staff with knowledge to recognize trauma and strategies to support students who experience trauma. So in your first discussion board this week, we're going to be looking at codes of ethics. Here is a link to the Minnesota Teaching Code of Ethics. If the link no longer works, you should be able to Google it and find it, as it is easily findable. So the scope of that code of ethics is that each teacher, upon entering the teaching profession, assumes a number of obligations, one of which is to adhere to a set of principles which defines professional conduct. These principles are reflected in the following code of ethics, which sets forth to the education profession and the public it serves standards of professional conduct and procedures for implementation. This code shall apply to all persons licensed according to the rules established by the Professional Educator Licensing and Standards Boards. For those of you not in Minnesota, we call that PELSB, which is our relicensure board. One thing that I like to point out about this is that it not only sets it forth for those in the profession, but also to the public it serves. So everybody is able to tell that these are this is the code of ethics that teachers in Minnesota are expected to adhere to. And that is why it is made public, so that everybody knows what the quote unquote rules are. Why is it important? So after you read that, I want you to go back and think about what stands out to you. A couple things that I noted is that a teacher shall provide professional education services in a non-discriminatory manner. A teacher shall make reasonable effort to protect the student from conditions harmful to health and safety. And a teacher shall not knowingly make false or malicious statements about students or colleagues. A few of these we have discussed in past weeks in various forms. Why is it important, and how does it connect to your own ethical beliefs? If you have some from another state, please feel free to use that in your discussion board and assignment. Just make sure you reference it for us so that we can know and look it up if possible. It should say from, not form. If you are from outside of the United States, but wherever you are has a code of ethics, please feel free to use that. If you can't find one for where you're at, go ahead and use the Minnesota one. For your discussion board number 1, and in order to prepare for the assignment number 4, which is due week 8, and to get you familiar with the code of ethics, please explore the Minnesota Teacher Code of Ethics, as well as the National Educators Association's Code of Ethics. As you have read through both the Minnesota Teacher Code of Ethics and the National Education Association's Code of Ethics, be super reflective about your professional lives within your school or classroom. Reading through both of these, you will naturally think about past events and or situations that you were involved in or witnessed as an educator. I am so sorry. My dog just came upstairs and decided that he needs to drink some water, and he is a very large boy, so he's very loud. Aren't you, Ajax? Come here. All right. So think about some past events and or situations that you were involved in or witnessed as an educator. Choose two of what is likely many that pop into your mind to share with us. Remember to state just facts and redact any names. And these are just some issues or events that came up that would have either they happened the way they did because of your code of ethics, or looking back at them if you were more of just a witness or learning about it afterwards. I'm sorry. It's been a long Thanksgiving week and I'm tired. If you're thinking about it afterwards and you look back and you're like, oh, that may not have been the right decision, that's fine. We all make mistakes. So like I said, just state facts, redact any names, and then discuss with colleagues, at least two. Discussion board 2, please review and critically peruse either your own school district's mission and vision statements, or go ahead and use St. Paul Public Schools mission and vision / values. After you read them, think of ways you can connect them to the Minnesota Teacher Code of Ethics to either your district or St. Paul Public Schools. What connections do they have that you notice? Again, this should help you with your final assignment, which is about implementing a code of ethics in a school. And please dialogue with 2 cohort colleagues. It should say just week 8. So I keep talking about this paper, the Code of Ethics Purpose and Impact paper. You are going to locate a copy of the Code of Ethics from your organization or from your national or local level professional group, such as a union, and view it with the principles in this week's reading in mind. This is week 8. You're going to organize your thoughts to include the assignment guidelines found in the syllabus, and then you get to choose whether you do it as a paper or a presentation. As I've mentioned before, the syllabus and the rubric do not mention the presentation. It is an option, and I will be using the same rubric with very minor changes if you choose to do the visual presentation. Calendar check. Due this Saturday is your normative leadership theories impact papers. I'm going to go ahead and go to that. My dog has now gotten between me and the computer, so we will give him a little attention. Week 5 assignment. So the purpose of this assignment is to research one of the normative leadership theories: transformational, servant, authentic, or ethical. In your own research, you may find more. Please choose from these 4, as there is no definitive rule about which leadership theories count. These are the 4 that we're talking about in the assignment, so please stick to those. Determine which of those normative leadership theories most align with your educational philosophy and values in the ethical leader. Then describe how your professional practice is influenced by the normative leadership theories that resonate with your current leadership style, and how you will seek to refine or improve your leadership style in the future. Please refer to the assignment rubric. 3 to 4 pages, not including references. Make sure you include a description or definition of the leadership theories selected. Minimum of 2. If you are very strongly one, maybe list a second one that you are interested in adding into your style. None of them are better than the others. They're just various styles that can be used. Describe how your professional practice and how the leadership theory has influenced it. So connect the 2 things. And describe at least 2 areas of leadership that you would seek to improve or refine in the future. And provide some examples of how that could be helpful for you. Use third-person voice, and make sure you include at least 3 references in this paper. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Just a reminder, there aren't any readings specifically about this laid out in Blackboard, so you will need to do your own research through the library or outside of that on your own. Now, as the calendar year, or I guess closer than the calendar year, maybe the first half of your school year is coming to a close, please take a moment to reflect on one thing from either the calendar year or the school year so far that you are proud of. You do not need to post this or share this anywhere. Instead, just take a moment to think about something you are proud about and carry that with you into the week ahead. If you want to share it, go ahead and add it with your quote. Thank you guys. Keep up the great work and have an excellent week.